What's up, savvy investors? This is the Savvy Money Show with your host, Sean. I have had some people ask me whether or not I'm sure regarding my video on Boeing. So I think we should do a quick update regarding it. So let's go back and see exactly what's going on with Boeing and compare it to a few other companies. And remember, I didn't say Boeing you shouldn't invest in. I just said that you would have a long wait of 5 to 10 years, and there are other companies out there that, in my opinion, look better. Everyone keeps saying they're too big to fail, and I seem to remember a couple of other too big to fail companies that failed. They said it's a duopoly, Boeing versus Airbus, but we'll throw in a couple of other companies that are also in the same kind of space. Now, if you find this informative or just plain funny, please hit the like button. Helps with the YouTube algorithm, helps support the channel. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit the subscribe button or the bell notification. If you have a specific type of video you would like to see, please say so in the comments box. If you disagree with me, please say why in the comments box. Or if there's a particular stock or share you're looking into to buy, please let me know in the comments box. I may have missed it. So anyway, on with the show. As we can see, it's priced at 133. People were jumping up and down when it hit 140, saying I told them not to buy at 130, but it's dropped back down again, as you can see. As I said, I didn't tell them not to buy. I don't advise anyone to buy or sell on this channel. I always tell people to do their own due diligence. I just try to inform people. And we can see here, the 52-week range is between 89 and 391. Now, it doesn't have a PE ratio at the moment, and it obviously doesn't have a dividend yield because all this money is going into saving itself. Now, if you look how far it's dropped from 391, it's a third of what it was. And I'm sure if you go back, it hit well over $440, as you can see on the screen there. Now, but we'll just go on the 1 year. On the 1 year figures. And 1 year figures is trading at a third of the price of its high. Well, let's move on. In my last video, and I'll include the link in the description below, it actually says how, in the description below the video, there are a few things that could change my mind regarding Boeing. Number one, getting a bailout by the Fed. They was offered a bailout, they turned it down because they didn't want to give up any equity to the Fed, which in my opinion is smart. Number two, they get a favourable debt facility set up, and they've done that. They've got $25 billion debt facility set up via a bond issue, and apparently there was no shortage of takers, so they could do that again in a heartbeat. Now, number three, the 737 MAX got the 737 MAX got approval. Now, Boeing said that the approval would be done and dusted by now. It hasn't. Now they're saying they expect it to be approved in the fourth quarter. Now, it may not. I know they've been manufacturing PPE equipment. Don't know if that is some sort of agreement they had with the government. But whatever the reason it went up is that balance sheet was terrible as expected. The one saving grace for it was that they cut their spending and they didn't spend as much as expected. So that's why it went up a little bit before coming back down and settling. The other thing is you have the fact that they have had 3 to 4 times the amount of sales they've brought in. They've had cancellations. Now, the 737 MAX issue, last time I videoed, which is in the last week, was 1.7 billion. Now it's cost them 2 billion. It's subject of a lawsuit still, and civil lawsuit and litigation that's been authorised. Now, that's saying that, even though Airbus has taken a lot of their space and Airbus has sold a lot more planes than them this year, pound for pound, they have brought in the same amount because of the cut in costs. So that has been another saving grace for them. On the other side, they're sitting on £80 billion worth of planes. If things do take a turn for the worse. So if all of a sudden the 737 MAX does get authorised, they have that to look for. They can shift. As well as that, they've just started a test flight of their new 777, and they've also brought out another plane. So it's not like they're relying solely on the 737 MAX. Now, we also have another aspect. We said how it's a duopoly. This is Airbus, who are in the duopoly with them. But before we do, we'll have a look. We'll go back and remind ourselves, market cap of 75 billion against Airbus, who cost 57.88 per share and have a market cap of 45 billion. Now, the thing is, personally, I think Boeing need to get rid of the whole board and bring in someone new and innovative, because they stopped, like Apple, they stopped being innovative a long time ago, and they were known for being innovative. And I think if they don't bring in a new board, they will stagnate. But that's just my opinion. Airbus, because people aren't buying planes, it's just these companies work on a backlog, Boeing does, and so do Airbus. And at the moment, Boeing is still got a backlog that is clearing. As I said, Airbus is sold more than it usually would this year before the coronavirus, but the cost of those sales has been more than Boeing's, so their profit has gone down. Compared to Boeing, not that there's been much profit there, so they've pretty much brought in the same amount when you take the costs off. Then we look at General Electric. The reason for looking at General Electric is they're also exposed to their aeroplane market and the air engine market. They have a market cap of 56 billion and have dividend of under 1%. Now, they have a price of 6.5. Intrinsic value is 5 compared to what I've valued it. General Dynamics, who are a military arm, because Boeing also are a military contractor, not just an aeroplane manufacturer. They have a market cap of 37 billion, PE ratio of 11. And although this doesn't have dividend on here, they, on the other sites, it says it's a dividend of, sorry, where is it? Sorry about this. Here, they've just paid their dividend on the 8th of April of 3.22%, and the next one will be in July. That is if they do pay it. Now, they have £37 billion market cap and their range is between 100 and 194. I think they are massively undervalued as well. They're as undervalued as Boeing or Airbus, in my opinion. And to tell the truth, if you're able to hold on to a company long and wait for it to come back, this would be the one. Purely because, as people said, America loves its military arm. And Trump doesn't like being snubbed. He's been snubbed by Boeing. And if he may have supported Boeing if they took the bailout, but when they say, no, we don't need your money, he may not try. He may do what he did with the cruise lines and not try and help them anymore. Just push them to the wayside and actually try and harm them. And I think money is better suited elsewhere then, and give contracts to these guys instead, or Lockheed Martin. But Lockheed Martin is trading at a discount of something like 10-15%. These guys are like 45-50%. No, I'm not saying don't buy Boeing. As I said, one of the things that would change my mind would be for them to get a debt facility going, and they issued bonds, they've got the debt facility they want, and they can extend that debt facility by issuing more bonds, because there was plenty of take up for it. And if it comes down to it, they can always go back to the Fed and say to them, you know, that bailout you wanted, where you wanted a percentage of our company, we're willing to take it. You know, So they have a lot of options open to them. So they're not down on the mat yet, and they're not that I thought they was down on the mat. I just thought that there was companies out there that were better value at the time. Now that may change. Things change every day, and I thought they were overvalued before when they was at 440. I was surprised with the 737 MAX debacle that they only went down to 330, but we are where we are. I thought 330 is more realistic, was a more realistic valuation for them. If you look here at the 5-year one, the 5-year plan, it, you know, it's 2017 when they broke 220. So, yeah. But that was when they was being innovative, you know, and that was when Airbus was playing second fiddle to them all the time. Now, they rushed the 737 MAX out because Airbus brought out a brand new engine without them even knowing about it. That would never have happened 3-5 years ago. It would always have been Boeing bringing out new products and Airbus or another company playing catch up. So, and they would never have let something go out that had a fault on it or where the people hadn't been trained properly on the software, because it would have brought their name into disrepute. Still, these are my reasons. It's not that Boeing isn't a good buy. It isn't that Boeing isn't a value buy. And I believe in value buys. I just believe there are better value buys out there at the moment. I've bought a lot of shares recently. There's talk of another crash coming. And whether there is or there isn't, I don't want to invest all my money in a company that I have to wait 5-10 years just to see them get back to what they was before. Yeah. It's different if it's a growth company like Tesla, where they will, every year they're growing and growing, and they are the future. But that isn't Boeing. And I know that Tesla hasn't brought out an electric airplane, but Boeing, they are doing the same things, and now they've started making mistakes, which makes me a bit jittery with my investment. Anyway, as I said, if you agree with me, please let me know in the comments below. If you don't agree with me, please let me know in the comments below and the reasoning why. If there are any particular types of video you want to see, let me know. If you want to see something other than stocks and shares but still financial related, let me know. If you want to see more of my videos, please hit the share button or the bell notification. If you found it informative or just plain crazy, please hit the like button. Help support the channel with the YouTube algorithm. And please do your own due diligence. Thank you. Goodbye.